President William Ruto's recent charm offensive on the Azimio-allied legislators has given him a semblance of an absolute majority in Kenya's 13th Parliament. Jubilee Party members of Parliament have already pledged to back the government's agenda in the House, opening the door for the smooth sailing of Ruto's legislative proposals. Now, while there are those in support of Ruto's move to cajole opposition legislators to his side, terming it as political genius, there is a school of thought that describes the president as being on a quest for absolute power. NTV's Sydney Chazima explains.
Kenya has been held hostage to ethnic politics, to personality cult politics for far too long.
The political storm followed President William Ruto's meeting with several ODM legislators at State House, Nairobi, a move that did not go down well with Azimio leader Raila Odinga. Beneath the verbal attacks, there are reports of fears in the Azimio hierarchy that Ruto's quest to woo opposition MPs is aimed at crippling the opposition while amassing an absolute majority in parliament. Jubilee Party, a major stakeholder in the opposition coalition, is the latest to pledge support to Kenya Kwanza. Over 30 Jubilee lawmakers met and pledged to work with the president.
I want to put it in this broad daylight. Jubilee has made a decision to work with the government of His Excellency President William Ruto.
This now fills the Kenya Kwanza administration majority stake in parliament almost to the brim. And this appears to be geared towards achieving the absolute majority of 233 legislators needed to amend the constitution through parliament.
To amend the constitution in Kenya, you need 233 of the National Assembly. So if you could get there to 233 in Kenya, National Assembly, then you could say you have absolute majority.
On paper, the Kenya Kwanza coalition enjoys a majority of 179 MPs against Azimio's 157. With 28 Jubilee allied MPs pledging support for Ruto's legislative agenda in parliament, Kenya Kwanza's support in the National Assembly now totals up to 207. It is still unclear which way the ODM allied MPs who visited State House will sway in parliament. But should the 8 MPs be sympathetic to Ruto's cause, this will in turn bring Kenya Kwanza's charges to 215. Pundits argue that as much as it is a political masterstroke by Ruto to pull MPs to his side, absolute power could corrupt.
You know, power gets to people's heads. Once you have such a numbers, you can be reckless. It's dangerous. You can attempt to do things that are outrageous.
One of the proposals by Ruto to the National Assembly by way of a memorandum is the creation of the office of the leader of opposition, a proposal Azimio have been critical of, stating that it needs to go through a referendum and not parliament.
The nature of the thing on the constitution you are attacking, you are kind of touching, may require the country to sit down and talk about it. And here you are, because you have the numbers, you are doing it.
With the numbers piling up, fears of an attempt to extend the term limit of the president remain rife, months after Fafi MP Salah Yakub hinted at the same.
We will oppose any move to change the constitution. I will be at the front to say no to any change of the constitution, to change term limit.
Why is he looking for such a majority? Why does he need an absolute majority? Why is he going all out to get MPs from other parties? And people are saying it is because he might want to amend the constitution to extend his term in parliament, or maybe at the very least provide for things which otherwise he would not pass when parliament is parliament.
Ruto's charm offensive to bag opposition MPs continues to pluck off Azimio's influence in parliament, leaving the opposition disjointed and weakened. Sydney Chazima, NTV.